A very melodious and captivating call to Maghrib prayer had just begun when the infamous practitioner of black magic, known among the people as Babaji with the bow, continued his wickedness without pause. Despite the sacred moment of the adhan, he shamelessly attempted to seduce his female disciple, Nafisa Sarmad, for fulfilling his lust. This so-called spiritual guide, worshipped blindly by some misguided Muslim women, was nothing more than a toy in the hands of Satan. Nafisa Sarmad, a woman with no real faith, gave in to his filthy desires. His vulgar words during the call to prayer clearly revealed that Babaji with the bow was a follower of Satan, having completely strayed from the path of righteousness. He was a source of misguidance for women with weak faith like Nafisa. Blinded by jealousy, Nafisa even offered her body to this satanic man to ruin her sister-in-law's home. After satisfying his desires, Babaji instructed Nafisa to return for 3 consecutive Thursdays, so he and his disciples could continue their exploitation. After those 3 Thursdays passed, he created an amulet using the filth of their union and handed it to her, instructing her to hide it among her sister-in-law's kitchen utensils. "Your work will be done in 2 weeks," he claimed, demanding half the payment upfront and the rest upon completion. Nafisa obeyed and left the amulet wherein she waited anxiously for her sister-in-law's destruction. But instead, something unexpected happened. Not only did nothing bad occur, but her sister-in-law became more devout in her prayers and gained even more respect from her in-laws and extended family. The black magic seemed to backfire. Nafisa burned with envy and returned to Babaji, explaining the situation. This was the first time Babaji's magic had failed. He realized the target must be someone spiritually strong. Determined, he asked Nafisa to bring the blood of a dead pregnant woman, a rare and dangerous ritual, reserved for powerful enemies. But after all her efforts, Nafisa couldn't find such blood. When she told Babaji, he demanded a high price and her body once again in exchange for providing the blood himself. Driven by jealousy, Nafisa agreed once more. Babaji prepared a new talisman with the blood and instructed her to place it on her sister-in-law's clothes or touch her body with it repeatedly. "In 3 days, your wish will come true. She be divorced, and her home will be destroyed," he promised. Nafisa did exactly that. The very next evening, her sister-in-law started vomiting blood. Doctors suspected poisoning, but nothing helped. Everyone thought she was dying, and the recitation of the Quran began beside her bed. Miraculously, the moment Quranic recitation began, her condition started improving. Within an hour and a half, she was sitting up and reading the Quran herself. Reflecting on her past, she was ashamed to have missed 3 prayers that day. By 11 p.m., she was fully recovered, performed ablution, and offered the Isha prayer in the hospital, her head in prostration as tears poured from her eyes. A doctor on night duty checked her and declared it a miracle, allowing her to return home. The next day passed peacefully, and Nafisa's sister-in-law spent most of it in prayer. But on the 4th morning, Nafisa returned to Babaji, infuriated by yet another failure. Babaji's ego was bruised. How could any woman resist his magic? He decided to perform the ritual himself and took Nafisa to a Hindu cremation ground, where he showed her his hut made of mud and wood. "I'll perform a 14-day ritual here. Either your brother-in-law and sister-in-law will die, or I will. But if they die, you must serve me for life." Nafisa accepted the condition, convinced this time something would work. But as fate would have it, those 14 days passed without harm to the targeted couple. Nafisa, accompanied by a close friend, went to check on Babaji. To her horror, she saw the monstrous snakes devouring Babaji's body. When they saw her, they lunged toward her, and she fled. As she ran, she tripped and fell. And at that moment, Babaji's hut collapsed into flames. Her friend rushed to her side, and Nafisa told her everything before dying there on the spot. Knowing that no one else was aware of their visit, her friend left Nafisa's body there. Babaji's half-burned corpse and Nafisa's body were treated as those of non-Muslims, burned to ashes, and thrown into the river. Thus, the enemies of God, when they dared challenge the faithful, met a fate worse than death: no grave, no respect, and eternal disgrace. Because of the grave sin of performing and promoting black magic, such individuals are considered outside the fold of Islam. In the time of Hazrat Umar Farooq Rao, the punishment for magicians was execution. both men and women, to purify Islam from such corruption.